Hi people, this is homework number 4 for computer-aided design course. It's an exercise which is due to uh, Dixon Sham, and the steps are all spelled out in the homework. And I will stick to these steps exactly as it is, and I explain to you certain issues that will come up if you just deviate a little bit from it. It's not that it's not going to work. It's just that it's a lot easier if you follow the steps exactly like it is. What we plan to do is to create a surface like what you see in the middle. And once we create the surface, then we can thicken it in order to get a solid object that you see as you see on the left-hand side. Okay. So I think there are altogether there are 17 steps. And as I do them, I go and back and forth between these instructions and the Catia interface. Okay. So here's the first step. We are in the generative shape design. That's fine. And then what we do is we select the XZ plane and enter the sketcher. There. Okay. So we have to do is uh, it says draw an arc right here. Draw an arc which is 160 millimeters, and it's one point of it is 0 and 30. Okay, and so this point is going to be 0 and 30. Okay, and then the horizontal axis goes to the right and the vertical axis goes up. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. It's kind of hard to see here. X is pointing to the right, and or horizontal axis point to the right, vertical axis. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's draw an arc here. 3-point arc, that's what I want to do. A 3-point arc. 3-point arc is 3-point arc right there. So we have 1 point, 2 point, 0.3. And this coordinate is 0 and 3, 0 and 30, 0 and 30. However, what I'm going to do is I will draw a line here and make it a construction line. How do you make it a construction line? There it is on the sketch tool. Notice it turns into dash. This is going to be the construction line now. And I'm going to make it 30 millimeters above the horizontal axis. So the distance from here to here is going to be 30 millimeters. Okay, good. And then I want this thing to be tangent to that. Okay, so this curve, control that curve. Actually, let me bring this thing up here. So this point, control that. I can make it coincident. Is that coincident? And then I want this to be tangent to that. Okay. So this curve, control that curve to be tangent to each other. Okay. Good. Now, based on the drawing, you look at the drawing here. The length, the horizontal length of this arc is 70 millimeters. So we go here, distance from this point to that point, but not the distance as it is, horizontal distance. Right click, horizontal direction. This is 70. Okay, good. And what else do we know here? With the radius of the radius of that circle is 160. So let's make the radius 160. 160. Okay. Now, there is one other issue here, and this point that you see there, I wanted, and remember, the coordinate was 0 and 30, okay? So I want this point actually to be on that axis. So, for example, excuse me, for example, this point, control that axis to be coincident. Okay, very good. And that's pretty much it. There is no other constraints here. This is 70. Remember, the horizontal axis, the origin was here. Horizontal was to the right. Vertical was up. Radius 160. And this is horizontal. Very good. So now, there is also an axis here, which we're going to use in order to revolve that curve about that axis. Now, uh, of course, I can use the horizontal axis as a possibility, but it's better if I did the following. Here is the axis icon. I draw an axis. Now, when I draw, if I go from left to right, it will revolve this thing in a certain direction that will look exactly like what you see when you exit it. If you go from left to right, it will revolve it, but it goes in the other direction. Okay? So let me do it then. Horizontal axis from left. Oops. Control Z. Where's that axis? Horizontal axis from here to there. Exit, exit, and now do a revolve. Now it looks like if you read the angles correctly, and this is going to be step 2. The angles are between 0 and 180. Okay, so let's go back here. For angle 1, I make 0, and for angle 2, I'll make 180. Okay, now it looks exactly like that. I want to remind you, if you did the axis in the other direction, it will actually go in the opposite direction. Let's check this. Go back here. Go back to that sketch. Go back to that sketch. I'm going to delete this. Delete this axis. Delete it. And draw it this time from left to right. You see? From left to right. Exit. You see, it looks like that. Not that it's wrong. It's just that it doesn't follow exactly the shape. So I'm going to delete this thing once again and draw it, the axis as it was originally from left to right. Exit, and it goes like that. Because I want to make sure it's exactly the same thing that you see on the instruction sheet. Okay, so that's what we just did this. Now it says to make the second sketch, enter the XY plane and draw something like this with these dimensions. So we go here to Catia, enter the XY plane, enter the sketch plane, and there we are. And you can see that it looks exactly like that. Okay. So now I'm going to draw a three-point arc once again. 3-point arc like this, here, here, and here. And we're going to fix the dimensions. Okay. So let's see. First of all, the radius is 90. The radius is 90. So let's dimension this for the radius. We put 90. Okay, good. And then we have the coordinates of this top point being 60 horizontal and 80 vertical. 60 horizontal, 80 vertical. 60 horizontal, 80 vertical. So back here. So the coordinates, we put it like this, dimension from this point to this is 80. That's the vertical dimension. And horizontal distance from this point to that axis, that's going to be 60. 60. Okay, good. What else do we know? Let's go here. it says this bottom point is 15 up, 25 horizontal, 15 up. Again, dimension from here to there, that's going to be 15, 15, and 25 horizontal. From here, let me do the following. Let me move this thing first, like that. All right, so the horizontal dimension from here to there is 25. That's right. From here to there, 25. Okay. Now, what else do we have? We have another piece of information. The radius was 90. This was 60 and 80, 15 and 25. And let me see, does that look like this? Not quite. So let's see what the issue may be. So 25, 15, 60, 80. Let's check these. 25, what is that? 15, yeah. 60 horizontal, 80 up. Something doesn't look right here. Oh, 80 horizontal, 60 up. That's what the mistake is. So this is 60, and that is 80. Good. So what you see there is exactly what you see here. All right. So what's the next step? Okay. So it says exit. So let's exit. When we exit, we should be getting something like that if I rotate probably. So let's see. Exit. Now, this does not quite look like that. That's because I need to rotate it. If I rotated it and placed it in that configuration, such as what you see here, that more or less looks like this. So I'm going to create two planes. The two planes, plane one is going to be at this end, normal to that curve, and plane two is going to be at the other end, normal to that plane. Well, actually not normal, parallel to the YZ plane. So plane one is going to be from this point parallel to YZ. Plane two is going to be from that point parallel to YZ. So let's go ahead and do that. We go here. We create a plane. Here is the reference elements. You can see that plane. And the method that you use it, not normal, parallel through point, parallel through point. So read it. Read it carefully. It says parallel to YZ, right? YZ. Yep. So parallel to YZ. If it's easier, you can select it from the tree and through that point. So that's going to be my first plane. And then another one, exactly the same thing, except that it's going to be through this point. Okay. Yeah. So another plane parallel to YZ through this point. And we say, okay. So what we have done here, we have created actually these two planes. Now, to make the third sketch, it says use plane one and in it draw an ellipse. Okay, so which passes through this point. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do a sketch on plane one. Okay. I'm going to draw an ellipse, and here's the way I'm going to do that. This is an ellipse. The center of the ellipse is going to be right there. You drag it, okay? And you want to make sure that this point actually matches that point. You see that? Passes through this. You see that? Passes through this. Yeah. Passes through this point. And now you're going to dimension it. Here's the dimension. Dimension this. Now, when you do that, right click, horizontal. Sorry, vertical. Oh, no, no. Control Z. Hang in there. Let's look at the instruction. It says, draw the ellipse while adding constraint, right click and say semi-minor axis, not horizontal, sorry, semi-minor axis. So here's what I mean. Let's go back here. So dimension, select this, right click, semi-minor axis, semi-minor axis, semi-minor axis, and then you make it 30. I'm going to do this thing again for the other ellipse. So what you see there is this thing. Okay, and I repeat this thing for the sketch 4, which is the other plane, but semi-minor axis is 10. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Exit. That's this. Once again, sketch. This time plane 2, ellipse. This is the center. Go until you hit the other fellow. Okay, and just move it a little bit. So you got your ellipse. Now you have to dimension it. You click on the dimension, right click, semi-minor axis. This is going to be 10 according to instruction in the homework sheet. There. So I did it twice, the same thing. Exit. Let's go ahead and save this thing. Make sure that we don't lose our work in case there is a problem here. Okay, what's the next step? Let's go here. We did these. Now, it says take this sketch 2 that you drew and symmetrically mirror it with respect to the plane Z. So let's go ahead and do that. So, where is the symmetry? You look for symmetry and stuff like that. Look under operations. Under operations over here, you have different things that you do, mirror, symmetry, etc. So you open it up right there. And symmetry is over here, symmetric, cancel that. Okay, I just unselected this guy. Try it again. Mirror, select this with respect to, I believe this is XZ. Yeah, XZ. There we are. So what we just did is created this piece. Okay, now let's go to another instruction. Use multi-section to put a surface through these two ellipses. So let's go do it. Okay, so first of all, save. Now, multi-section surface is right here. Multi-section surface. I select this curve and I select that curve and make sure that the direction of these arrows are the same, and they are. And then we say OK. So what we have done here is actually this surface. Okay. Now, if you want to put in the same orientation, so let me turn it around, show it to you like this, and then probably you have a, let's see now, does it look like that? Yeah, it looks like this. Okay. Now, we're going to split. The surface. Which surface? We're going to split this surface. We're going to split this ivory looking surface with the Z cutting plane. I'm sorry. No, we're going to split this thing that we just made, multi-section solid, with the XZ plane. Let's go ahead and do that. So where is the split? There is a split. Split. Read it carefully. Element to cut is that multi-section thing that we did. An XZ plane, you can select it from the tree, and it's the other side that we want, because I wanted to make it look exactly like what you see here in this figure. Okay, number 8. Okay, and fine. Go back here, and then we say okay. So what you see there is exactly what you have in here. Okay. Now we're going to make a fillet between these two surfaces that we just did. Surface fillet. Okay, so here's the icon for fillet. Which one is it? This one? Shape fillet. Yeah. Between this surface and that surface. Okay, make sure the arrows are both pointing out. Read the instruction here. See that? It says make sure that the arrows are pointing out. And these trim supports are already selected for you. Those are the default. You can see that these are selected. And you say okay. Oh, the radius, the size of it, the size of the fillet. I forgot to read it off here. Is 10 millimeters. That's why you couldn't see it. It's so small that you couldn't see it. Here, make it 10, and then you can actually see it. There, you can see that right there. The fillet. If you want to change the rendering to the one with the edges so that you can see it actually, let's try this. Try the other one. Yeah, right there. That is what you see there. Okay, we are at step 10 now. Click on the sketch icon, XY plane, and draw an arc like that. So let's go XY plane and sketch. We go here, select the XY plane, sketch. So what you see there is right there. Draw an arc like this. Radius of the arc is 78. Okay, and it starts at this point and the origin is there. So let's do that. So here is an arc. There we are. The center is this location, and it's on this horizontal axis, and then we go up, and the radius is 78. This radius is 78. 78. We say okay. So what you see here is actually the completion of this step. And just exit, go to the next one. Okay, exit. We just created this sketch right there. You can see that. See this? And then we extrude this based on the instruction that's given to you. Extrude it by 20 millimeter in both directions. This is limit 1 and limit 2, but if I do mirror extend, it'll do it basically for you. So it's up to you if you want to use limit 1, limit 2, or if you say mirror extend, it'll do exactly what you want. Okay, and then we're going to split that filleted surface with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. See, click on the split, the fillet 1 with the extrude that we just did. What we just did. So let's go here. Where is the it was yeah, the saw, right? Split, read it carefully. Element to cut is that filleted surface. Cutting element is that extrude. And I don't want the left side, I want the right side. See, this is going to give you the other side. I don't want it. You say, okay. And what you see there is exactly what's in this drawing. Now, if you want to, the next step obviously is going to mirror this thing that we just created with respect to the XZ plane. Let's go do that. So we go here. Where's that? We go there. Mirror, look in the operations toolbar, look in the transformations. There is the symmetry. This is the, where's the mirror? Well, it must be, there's no mirror, it's called symmetry. Okay, you click on the symmetry right there. Click on the symmetry. The element that we want to mirror is this thing that we just did, the split, and the reference element is that XZ plane, and there we are. And if you hide this, hide that extrude, you get exactly what you were asked to do, right? Right. So this is that, or what we were asked to do over here. All we have to do is to thicken it. So let's go ahead here. Last step, we go back to Catia. By the way, anything that you don't like, you can hide. So all these plates, all these plates that we don't want, this guy all the way to that fellow. Hide. I'm using a shift button. These two planes I want to hide. These sketches I don't need it. I'm going to hide. What is that sketch? Some other sketches here. This sketch I don't need. I'm going to hide. And this sketch is hide. And some of the other sketches that you don't want. Okay, there's another one here. What's this? Hide this. Okay, good. And now save. And the final step is thickening it. Here's the thickening, thick surface. And select well, obviously this is going to be selected. If you want to go inward, oh, you know what? The problem is that I didn't join it. There's one step that I forgot. That's why it's doing only half of it. So cancel that because there's one step that I forgot, and that is probably join them. Yeah, join right there. That's why I did only half of it. So let's go back here. Cancel that. Join now. Join these two sides. So when you thicken it, it's going to do both sides. So here's a thickening. You select this thing, the whole thing is going to be done, either outward and inward, depending on how you want to thicken this thing. If you want to go, I don't know what this guy says, he wants to, I don't know how to see here, he wants to go inward. Okay, so let's go here. And all you have to do is you click on the arrow reverse direction, it's go inward. If you say 1, you're going to have a hard time to see it. You can see that. So let me go ahead and make this thing 10 so that at least you can see it. There we are. Oh, 10 is too big. No, cancel. Okay, so let me read this thing carefully to see what it said actually. How many millimeters is that? So, half a millimeter. If you make it too big, then it's going to destroy so half a millimeter, 0.5. So 0.5 is too small. I'm going to make it 2. How about that? So let me make this thing 2 so that maybe 3. Let's see how it looks like. Still no good. Maybe 1. Yeah. Let me try something bigger. Maybe 2. Let's see. Yeah, to a certain point. Now, if you hide that joint, then you can see your solid object. Yeah, I hope this was useful. That's going to be your homework for January 30th. Good luck.